Evening, y'all. Chief Prepper here. Haven't done a video since the war, so to speak, or conflict, whatever the fuck you want to call it, started. Didn't want to add to the bullshit too much. So, unfortunately, this is the advice I have for you. You need to keep your finger and your ears open to information and do your absolute best to figure out how they make heads or tails of the information you're hearing. There's all kinds of shit out there. There's stuff saying we're going to run out, that Iran's going to win, and then there's other bullshit. The president says he has not ruled out ground troops. I'll be honest with you. This is probably not going to be over quick. So I'll give you one tidbit of information that will tell you things are getting bad. When you start seeing retirees recalled, specifically people like me who are retired chief warrant officers who can be recalled up to age 62 and realize that I am on that list. So if I go dark with no information, that's a piece of information you might want to pay attention to. There's also a bunch of lower enlisted who went into what's called the ready reserves. They will get recall letters. And then the big thing is, lone wolf attacks here in the U.S. Tom Clancy did a novel on it. Basically, it was the one thing that the Federal Bureau of Investigation said that they could not defend against. Like they can't, especially if people don't talk about what they're going to do. All right. They can track purchases and stuff, which is probably a part of the digital ID bullshit because they want to control what you can buy, but they also can monitor what you're going to buy. And then you have to ask yourself, is this a part of the plan? I've done many videos, 3 or 4, saying that I think Trump is the dark horse. He's going to ride the country into the ground, usher in a new era. The question is, where is he going to be at in the new hierarchy? Russia and China are coming to the aid of Iran, mostly in the what you would call back office work. Other countries have joined the fight. It's all information, the Strait of Strait of Hormuz, I think, whatever that fucking little 21-mile wide fucking thing of ocean. Ships aren't going to traverse that. And Iran doesn't need the ships to be in there to take them out because they can send out drones. You're looking at the possibility that this goes on for a long time where there's an economic world collapse because we're a global economy. And when you cut out 30% of anything global, that affects so much in the background. Fuel. It takes fuel to run trucks. It takes trucks to move stuff, groceries. It takes trucks to move fuel to fuel points like gas stations. Other people have said videos where the price of gas is probably going to go up astronomically, depending on how long this goes on. So I watch Canadian Prepper, which I don't watch too much of anymore, and I really am not watching too much. I watch a little bit here and there, but the prepping community has been getting ready for this for decades. Some people are new, some people are more seasoned. Imagine a world where we don't have electricity, where they take the grid down. How many fat people, not trying to be mean, how many of y'all are going to make it through summer? It's right around the corner. How are you going to make it through the lack of air conditioning? That doesn't even include your inability to get food or to keep food, to preserve it. You know, I've talked about y'all doing research, do your own tests, long foods, butter, cheese, apples. I've got apples in my refrigerator right now that have been in there since September of last year. They're fine. You know, have you planted fruit trees around your property? Have you planted things like grapes? I tried to plant blueberries 2 years in a row and then didn't have any luck. If I see blueberries, or blackberries, not blueberries, blackberries. If I see blackberries, I'll plant those too. You know, I've got an apricot tree, I've got an apple tree. I've gotten only ever one apple out of that apple tree in the entire time I'm here because it's on the south side of the house, it's on the west side of the house, but the wind blows and it blows the blooms off, so they never get pollinated. The apricot tree is hit or miss the last couple of years. For a couple of years, we got fucking apricots all over the fucking place. I didn't know what they were. I thought they were baby peaches, and they weren't. They're apricots. You know, have you invested in chickens? And then all the other shit that goes along with prepping, cast iron, alternate heating sources, alternate cooking. You know, we're in the modern world, we're used to having instant energy. So you need to heat up something, microwave. You need to heat up something, stove. You need to cook something in an oven, you got it. You know, how many people have got wood-burning stoves? You know, winter's a long ways away, but it's coming. You know, we just got through with winter, but winter's coming. So anyway, probably information, and then pay attention. The military bases in San Antonio have instituted 100% ID checks, which means they're at a certain ThreatCon level, and then there's 2 levels above that when they start getting to a point where they're starting to do searches. They've increased it a level, and then there will be a point where they will lock people out, and the only people that will come on base are people who work there. If you're in the military, then you know what ThreatCons are, and you know what force protections are at. So, you know, have you invested in body armor? Have you worn it? You know, have you kitted yourself out? Have you, you know, do you know how to use stuff? You know, I don't know. It's fucking stupid and crazy at the same time. Bad time to be sick. I got a friend of mine who got admitted to the hospital the day before yesterday, and he thought he was going to be released tomorrow, but I don't think he's going to be released. So anyway, information. Keep your finger and pulse on it. Keep your ear to the ground. Try to sift through the shit that's hyperbole. Try to listen to people who have half a fucking common sense. You know, the reality is, if the fat motherfuckers in town gotta walk more than 5 or 10 miles, they're gonna die. They ain't gonna make it. You know, where's a water source for you? I'm not talking about fucking coming out of the fucking tap. I'm talking about coming out of the ground, even if you got to filtrate it. Do you have water filtration systems? You know, do you have the ability to filter water? You know, multiple ways. Do you have something you can put in your pack where you can filter it and drink it if you need to? I do. I spent money on it last year. Then I have what would be called static water filtration systems. Be something you'd have to do over the time. Do you have rain barrel catchment systems? You know, if if the electricity goes down, so too will the water. You won't get any water out of your pipes, and if you do, it won't be safe to drink. There's a lot. Do you have backup medicines, antibiotics? Jace Medical. You might want to get some. And if you're one of those people that needs to take medicine to stay alive, you might want to get some, because they do a daily med thing and then an emergency Jace Medical thing. Basically, if you get a certain type of wound, short of being able to get to a doctor that knows how to sew you up or fix you, you're going to die. So, a lot of bad stuff happening. We've already lost service members, and Trump told the truth. There's probably going to be more. So, information is knowledge and power. Live a little, prep a lot, share love. G Prepper out.